Hello and welcome to Ignite the Night. We'll be starting in 5 minutes. Can you help me test?
Yeah.
We're going to put on the screen there.
I'm bad at typing. Yes, I typed it. Success. Here we go. Where should I put the balloon?
The most emotional we got is the fact that they're going to
Tape and put it up.
I'll do that. What do you need help with?
I need to see, I need you to go over to the screen and I want to see if we can actually see the picture. Hi, Yarl. So the picture is not terribly clear. Oh, yeah. Yarl, could you hit a couple of the lights and we'll see if we can get a better picture?
Can I keep switching it so we can see?
Oh, you can see it okay.
Can I switch it to a different side? No, that's fine.
Sure.
You don't have the interaction with your teacher.
There. Now you can see it even better.
Hello, welcome.
Okay.
We just need one more little table, or maybe
Just you put it like, yeah, that's Kaylee's board. Kaylee's board? Yeah. Okay, I'll go clean it up. Wow. Good. Really? Look at all the iPods. It's seat savers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's live streaming, girl. Say hi to Sky's mom. She's in Tel Aviv.
Hi, Sky's mom. Hi.
My mom's watching in PEI too. You can say hi to her.
Hi. Don't steal my shine.
I was just saying we can readjust chairs. There might not be enough leg room.
I need to get that too.
Nice. I was so hungry.
No, that's my spot. No, that's hers. Now move. There. No, I'm saying there. Hannah, just sit here. There was a phone. Haley, do you want to spin around? Back with you. You were complaining about it. I know, yeah. Well, now I like Sit there. Oh, yes. Maddie's feeling like that. What?
Hi, Mom. Sky's mom is watching from Tel Aviv.
No, Israel.
Tel Aviv and Israel.
Oh, yeah. That's
Right there in that little corner. Yeah, they're all
Could it take that spot? Yeah, you take today? I'm playing Brick Breaker. I got home. I had to order.
Sky's mom just sent me an email and said she was watching. She said special shout out to Sky.
How do I I have interest.
What?
Like chipmunks, like squatting. What is this? Like sitting there in the toilet. I'm just like, what? No, it's not. I was fly. So I just told my mom, and she's like, is that okay? So we're trying to catch it.
Oh, right.
So why don't we just pretend like this? And he like jumps out and runs into the
We. Oh, Bob, you can say hello to the screen. I got this.
We'll be together now.
Hey.
So we're gonna go ahead and get started. We have a pretty tight schedule. Each student is presenting for 3 minutes. So we basically fill the full hour and a half to get to our reservation at the sushi place on time. So here's what's going to happen for those of you who have not been here before, and there's some new things. Right now we're live streaming. I sent a link to all of you on your emails. So there's some people, we know Sky's mom is watching from Tel Aviv. My mom and my grandma are watching from PEI too. They couldn't make it. But the video gets archived, so you're able to see it at any time if you want to rewatch or share. So the live stream is happening. Yep, it's definitely happening. If there are any students in here, or if anyone wants to tweet or Instagram, our hashtag is Ignite209. Are there any students who want to grab? Fiona and Yarrow, why don't you grab those to start? You're up very soon, so you can do that after. I have Eyeless, our Eyeless iPad, set up to be the timer. Kaylee is going to put this on at the beginning of everyone's slideshow. She'll just hit start. It's a count up to 3 minutes. So Room 209, you will know every time you hit a 20-second, your slide is going to move on to the next one. Whether you have more to say or not, the slide will continue to move. So Kaylee will stop and reset for everybody.
Kaylee, you're gonna have to pay attention to when it hits 20 seconds.
Nope, she doesn't have to do anything. It'll count up to 3, and then the person who's talking is going to look, oh, 20 seconds, 40 seconds, 60 seconds. Eyeless is the timer. Sky said hi to her mom. We're going to start out tonight with Amelia, just so that all of you know. I was very nervous. Vicki was here first helping me get set up, and she was leading me through imagining blowing up a balloon. She even gave me a real balloon. So if you're feeling nervous, use some of your mindful breathing techniques. You may either sit in the chair or you may stand up. I'll have a little look, Millie, while you get set up, just to make sure we can see you on the screen. So please welcome Amelia.
Right. Okay.
So just wait till the slideshow is up, and then we will start. So we can see Millie. Hannah, do you want to just adjust the screen a little bit so we can see her nicely?
No, because it's told me to show the screen out there.
And Millie, as soon as I full screen it, you can take it away. All right.
So, hello everyone, and welcome to my Ignite presentation. I hope that you enjoy it. It's going to be about what I learned this year in Room 209, and I'm glad to be the opening presentation. So, yeah. So, these are only some of the apps and stuff we've used this year in Room 209. We've used Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Google Drive, Skype, and lots more. We've used these things to communicate with other classes around the world. Like we tweet at other classes, we post stuff at other classes, and Skype, which I'll continue later. And we post videos on YouTube of what we're doing. So. Okay, so these are the Chromebooks that we've been using for about half a year now. They're kind of like a laptop, but they're lighter and they don't actually save anything on the Chromebook, except if you're using the Google Drive. So, yeah, we applied for a grant and then we won them, as many of you know. So, yeah. So this is our How Do You Feel Today? It's basically, so we fill out the survey every morning on how we feel today. So there's a survey and it asks, how do you feel today? Why do you feel that way? And we fill that out. Shauna takes our answers and she puts them in a Wordle, and the word the bigger words appear most. So when you first see this slide, you might think, what? So basically this is like a shortened version of our class dictionary in pictures. So Shauna likes to call the Chromebook charger Transformer and a Mickey Mouse. I think that's what she thinks it looks like, but yeah, and these are the three monkeys. So this is Skype, and we've been using Skype since last year. And we communicate with other classes around the world with it. We've been to Spain, Disney World, New York, England, and like basically other foreign countries. We recently did a project which was a very big project.
Okay, that wasn't for you.
Thought it was the timer. And we basically wrote biographies about our grandparents. So not only do we write books at Churchill, but we also read them, of course. We have this library system, of course, and if you think having Chromebooks limits reading, you're wrong, because there's websites online where you can have books for free. And this is my last slide, and this is my last year at Churchill. Something I'll remember about. Sorry. So yeah.
Thank you very much, Millie. Millie, did it go by fast?
Yes.
Yes.
Very.
So rule 20, don't worry if your slide moves forward and you're not ready. Finish your sentence, but then you might just have to shorten what you say on the next one. We just had some more people arrive, so please feel free. There's tons of empty spaces. Come on in. People can move forward or. And John, you can come to the front here.
You can't see him there.
Yep, he's perfect. Tony's your lady.
And Johnny will be presenting about our class mottos, timer beginnings.
Welcome to my presentation on class mottos. Hope you enjoy it. The first one that I talk about is treat others the way you treat yourself. I think it's really we use mottos every day in every way, and a lot of the mottos that you've really seen are very essential in learning. And respect. Respect is important. Respect your teachers. Respect. We have the 3 R's here at Churchill. Respect each other, respect yourself, and respect this place. And respecting people is really will make you have more friends and get the best out of them. Use I talk. When somebody did something wrong that you think, don't just say, he did this, he did that. Use I talk. Say, well, this is what I did, and you hold that the other person is accountable. Our class is a family. It's not just a class that you put together, grade 5, 6. It's a family, and in there you see we're doing on this baby Nisha that came in for a little interview, we could say. Be honest. If you want to be trusted, be honest. Being honest is really, this is one of my favorites, because sometimes people aren't that honest to me, and sometimes I admit I'm not that honest. So it's really essential.
follow your own path. Don't follow other people's path because they could be leading a very, say, dirty path, very broken glass path, very rocky path. And if you don't follow your own path, you might not be the person that you want to be when you grow up. Being an addict. Being an addict means accountable, driven, dynamic, engaged, grateful, and generous, and supportive. I think supportive is the most important because you support other people on what they're learning and doing. I think that's very essential. Be a flexible noodle. Sometimes I have problems with this. Being a straight, uncooked noodle is being so stiff and straight and can't wait and very stuck and stubborn, I guess. So being a flexible noodle is just going with the flow of stuff that don't happen that are exactly right. You're okay with it. Thank you for listening to my
Someone to learners that just arrived, Kaylee has Eyeless, and Eyeless is timing for you. Was that helpful, Johnny and Billy, to see the timer counting down for you?
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, so I have a timer going back here as well. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sky, who will be talking about what I always mistype her name as, which is Sky.
Hi, my name is Skype without the P, and I'll be talking to you about Skype and how it's helping kids connect around the world. I think it's essential to our learning because it's really important for our class. So we share and compare our work. We've done sharing poems this year and other things like that. We also share about our unique alternative school because some of the features on that is really cool. We play and share. We play Mystery Skype as well as questions, which is pretty much questions that you learn about the place and then you try to figure out what place they're living in, really. We share interactive. It's so much fun to speak with children across the world because you get an inside detail on what it actually is like to live in that city or country. So I think that's a very cool aspect of it. Innovative. Skype is innovative because a couple of years ago there's no way that you could be able to just pull up your computer and talk to someone halfway around the world. It's quite amazing, and I think that's the most important part of it is that it's innovative. We've connected with so many countries over the years that over the 2 years actually, that it's really cool to see on our map over there all the pins that we put in to symbolize where we've mystery Skyped or Skyped with people. So I think that's a really cool part. You can do it from anywhere. All you need is an account, which is free, internet access, and some sort of device, which could be Samsung, Chromebooks, and iPads, all sorts of things. So everyone learns. I'd say both sides of our classroom, like our side and then the people across the world side, is we learn a lot from just talking to each other because they tell us stuff that we couldn't really if you searched it up specifically, you could learn it, but you couldn't really if you just looked up the country. So the possibilities are endless. You can really do it from anywhere, and you can do it from anyone as long as they have an account. Thank you for listening.
I can invite for somebody who's up there and the slide is still there and it hasn't moved yet, but they feel like they've run with presenters. Room 209, anything they could do? This is a good time to kind of improvise, extend the story a little bit, if you have a little bit of extra time here. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Gabby and all about Chromebooks and how they have helped our class.
Okay, so we got the Chromebooks in February by entering a grant to get everybody in our class Chromebooks. We use the Chromebooks almost every day except for Tuesdays. That on Tuesdays, TU's class has the Tuesdays, and it's called TU Tuesdays. The Chromebooks are very helpful, and glad our class has them. So we use social media a lot in our class. Like as Sky was talking about, we use Skype quite a bit, and we use Twitter like even more. We use it to post, like if there's anything that's like a special event or something, we post about a special event.
Gabby, I'm going to do a quick timeout. We have Millie's dad watching from Seattle, Sky's mom watching from Tel Aviv, and the feedback is they can't really hear the presenters. So, presenters, you may stand or sit, but can we move the Chromebook any closer so it's a little bit easier to hear? And just turn up your volume. Sorry for interrupting, Gabby. Take it away.
And also in our class, we used to use Modo. So also we also use some really helpful websites like IXL and Khan Academy. They're both math websites. I've only used IXL. I don't really know about Khan Academy. We also use Typing Web. That helps us with typing faster and typing in general. And we also use We Give Books, which lets you read online. So some of the things that have helped us this year are Go Noodle, Lift Off Do, and Code Academy. Some things that have helped others in UNICEF, Free Rights, and Kiva. But also, with the things that help others, they also help us learn about caring about other people. And they teach us a lot of different things. This is a game that you find where your clothes are made in. So like you can find out where your shirt was actually made in. And then this is also a really fun game. I forget the name of it, so yeah. It's where they give you a place, and then you have to try to guess where you are. And in workshops. Workshops help us learn about like littler children and how like we interact with them. It also is very good for the younger children because they learn about the Chromebooks, and if they're in Shauna's class in other years, then they will have sort of like a sneak peek at how to use the Chromebooks. Yeah. So there are a lot of cool things that we can use on the drive. So we can like make forms so you can fill out stuff. We can also make spreadsheets, documents, and presentations. And a presentation is technically a slideshow. This is a presentation. So to shut off your Chromebook, you can do Control QQ and then it's turned off. That's very helpful. And to take screenshots, you can press Control and that button. Yes. And then there's just regular tricks. So, and overall, Chromebooks are really awesome, and they help us. And they really, I think they've enhanced our learning a lot. Yeah. It's really embarrassing. And that's my story.
Gabby, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our loudest volume speaker. Show exactly how it's done. Miss Erica.
Erica's Ignite presentation. Tonight I'll be talking to you all about what I've learned in my class this year, in the amazing Rainbow Eggheads classroom. As I said before, my Ignite presentation is all about what an awesome experience I've had in my classroom, 2014. I am very grateful that I was able to be in this classroom with Shauna, my favorite teacher. Thank you so much, Shauna.
Giving you some more time to
Writer's Toolbox. In Writer's Toolbox, I've learned to take a boring sentence, like for example, Shauna was happy, to an exciting and more descriptive sentence, like for example, Shauna was running around with joy and excitement when all of the new Chromebooks arrived with us. Art. In art, I have learned all about different artists and what their life was like, a biography about them. I've also learned good painting techniques and how to paint really good paintings, different types of paint. We have done different projects like painting canvases, etc. Math. In math, I have learned tens, so I'm only going to show a few things with you. I have learned to multiply and divide numbers, and in multiplication, I've learned a trick for doing multiplication, which I'll share with you next. Math continued. The trick I learned is you multiply the ones by the ones, then multiply the tens by the tens, and you put in a placeholder 0, and then you add up all the numbers on the bottom. Then you get the answer. Page 7. Science. In science, I've done different experiments, like for an example, what happens if you blow up a balloon and you rub it against your hair? I've also done different slideshows on Google Drive that connect with science. An upcoming one I'm going to do is Can Guinea Pigs Remember Anything? Page 8. Social studies. I've learned a lot of things in social studies too. Like once I did a test where I have a map and I have to memorize where all of the countries in Canada are. Then I write them down on a piece of paper. I have learned all about the world and different countries in Canada and what their lifestyle is like. We have a map over there. The Rainbow Eggheads. The Rainbow Eggheads classroom isn't just any ordinary classroom. It is an extraordinary classroom. We have Chromebooks, technology, a lovely #1 best teacher, and all of the tools we need. I really want to thank Shauna for being my teacher for 2 whole years. Thank you, Shauna. You mean so much to me.
Great work, Erica. Vanilla wafer. Make your way to the front. Nils will be presenting about how we got the Chromebooks. Thank you for having such high volume, Erica. That was cool.
Beautiful.
Nils, really loud, my friend.
Okay, so my presentation is all about the Chromebooks and how we got them, and how we use them. And I did not have a lot of plans to say on this slide. So. Okay, it all started when Shauna went to GAVE Summit in Montreal in December 2013. Well, GAVE stands for the Google Apps for Education, where she was talking about tech in the classroom and other things like that. And when okay, so when Shauna came back, she told us about the grant that we could apply for, and the class had 1-to-1 Chromebooks. We made a video that's right on the screen there. We wrote a long proposal. It took a long time. Only 3 classes in the world will get Chromebooks. And guess what? We got one that says. We we couldn't believe it. We actually got the Chromebooks. After 2 months of waiting, we finally got them. It felt like a lot longer though. We eagerly unpacked them. We were so excited we made this iMovie about it. We have right here. And yeah, really exciting. Yeah, it's really exciting to get them. Oh yeah, so we use a lot of websites in the Chromebooks. Some examples are the Google Drive, and the Khan Academy, and Coconut Mass, Twitter, and Lyft.do to set goals, and lots of other things too, like Typing Web and Skype, and yeah. Oh yeah, so after we had Chromebooks for a while, we started doing workshops for other classes, and we've done them to Alana's class, Stacy's class, and forget who that's one we've done, or Jillian's we've done about Twitter, about collaborative slideshow. We use Sammer in our classroom and to try to do cool things. And we try to use the R, which is redefinition, which tech allows for the creation of new tools previously, and I cannot do that. But yeah, we love. Overall, the Chromebooks are amazing. They've helped our learning so much this year. They have been a great tool for everybody, and they're really awesome. And thank you for listening, and yeah.
Thank you, Nils. Noctopus. Platypus. Not here. Oh, there he is. Platypuses. How Knott's passion began. I beg your pardon. I've got to use resources.
Yeah. I originally had something for this. I don't know, it just got lost or something. But I kind of memorized it. So, platypuses, how Knott's passion began. So, in this slideshow, I'll basically be talking to you about how, like, why I love platypuses, all the amazing things. It's kind of a different slideshow from the rest of them. And I'll just be talking about all the amazing things about them and what I was so motivated to do with them. My third grade teachers were talking about mammals that lay eggs, or the monotremes. There are only 2 monotremes on Earth, the platypus and this porcupine thing, but we're not here to talk about that. I was told some false information, like they have venomous claws. I actually found out that they have venomous spurs on their hind feet. I eventually learned of the platypus's sixth sense. The sixth sense is something they use to hunt. They close their eyes and use the electroreceptors in their bills. They can pick up electrical charges as small as when a shrimp contracts its muscles. The first mammals recorded to have electroreceptors in them. I was so motivated to do new things with platypuses. I did a science presentation on how the venomous spurs on their hind legs work. I'll get back to that later. I also did platypus comics and the Greek art of platypuses. I made a story called Princess Platypus about an awesome shinobi ninja. Only the venomous spurs. Only the male platypuses have this venomous spur. The females also have this spur, but it's not venomous. The venom is lethal to small children and small animals, but to an adult it will just cause excruciating pain and may be enough to incapacitate swung quickly to else around the room, and morphine has no effect on it. Only the male platypuses, wait, I just read that. Platypuses can only be found in eastern Australia. You can see, like the really brown part. There are no places other in the world with platypuses. They can be found in Tasmania, Victoria, New South Wales, and Queensland. Platypuses make their burrows in the banks of freshwater swamps, rivers, and lakes, but they do different things. Platypuses get bigger the farther you go down south. The largest platypus was a fossil found in New South Wales. It was said to be about the size of a child. According to the newfound fossil, the platypus was alive 15 million years ago. A team of paleontologists from the University of New South Wales identified the new species called Abdora eden. I don't know how to pronounce it. based on a single boulder they discovered in the River Slate fossil field. Oh, okay, I'll just do the last slide real quick. Yes, it's true. Platypuses have no stomach. Scientists believe the platypus was descended from a species with stomachs, but for some reason they found no need for them. The stomach breaks down certain foods to help digest. The best theory is that the platypus's diet does not require a stomach, so they stop producing them.
Very much, Matt. Next up, we have Fiona with Exploring the Room 209 World of Words. And please feel free to stand up or sit down, Fiona. If that chair is in your way, just push it in.
In room 209, we have our own world of words. If you were to walk into our room at any given time, you would find us using words that only we can understand. From juicify to brain farts, there are some insane words that we come up with, and only we can explain to you. In our class, we are called the Rainbow Eggheads. At the beginning of the year, we were told that we should be Add Eggs throughout the year. Add Eggs stands for accountable, dynamic, driven, engaged, grateful, gratitude, and supportive. We are at the end of the year, and I think every single person in our class has achieved the goal of being an Add Egg. Juicify is a word that we use often. The Rainbow Egghead Dictionary meaning of juicify is to enhance your writing using Writer's Toolbox. In case you don't know, Writer's Toolbox is writing tips on how to write well. We use lots of intriguing vocabulary when writing juicy things. We are always trying to enhance our writing and to juicify it. Now you may be thinking, what the heck is a brain fart? Well, it is a joined word of brain and fart. It is when you totally blank out and forget all about what you're talking about. Mindfulness is another thing we use to calm ourselves down and make our brain less cluttered and more organized to decrease the amount of brain farts per day. Mickey Mouse to the Transformer is a Chromebook reference. On a Chromebook plug, there is a box with electricity that is called the Transformer. It is called a Transformer because it looks like one with a boxy shape. And the plug looks like a Mickey Mouse head. We use that reference for telling people never to take them out of each other or else the Chromebooks won't charge. In our class, we call water brain drinks because they fuel your brain throughout the day. So you need brain drinks to stay awake. In our class, we try a lot not to use bottled water because it can take away the healthy environment and cause many other problems. Brain drinks are very important during tests and times when you aren't focused. It helps a lot. Ketchup, mustard, and pickle are things we use to organize our work. For example, mustard is must do, ketchup is ketchup, and pickle is where you get to pick what you're doing. To organize these, we have a mustard tracker, and you fill out the things when you're done, so Shauna knows that it's complete. We also have a ketchup tracker. Genius Hour is another activity that you may not know about. Our Genius Hour is at the end of the day on Friday. During Genius Hour, we do our passion projects. So something that is educational, has a purpose, and something you're interested. Our class loves Genius Hour and always looks forward to it. Jenga tower is a toy to every child, but in our class it is a metaphor. You start building your towers at the bottom and you always build up. We think of blocks as your skills that you learn. If you learn something really hard at the beginning and your bottom blocks are really wiggly because you don't understand it, your blocks at the top are going to collapse. So you must learn the steps before you take during doing hard things to make your Jenga tower strong and your knowledge high. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Fiona. Thomas is going to tell us what he wants to teach the world. Thomas is telling. Boys and girls, I'm giving you your full 20 seconds on your title slide. If you don't need it, just kind of give me a little wave and I'll move on from the job site.
So my Ignite slideshow is about what I want to teach the world. So what I want to teach the world is not to be so boring and how to be awesome and to always be on the same team as one another. And if you want to be boring, then you can't change the world. So tech. I find that tech is a very useful tool for education. It makes learning fun, and it has evolved education. Every class should have tech. It's like any type of tech, Chromebooks, smart boards, iPads, and we have all that in our classroom. So goals. Always set new goals to reach the impossible that you didn't even know you could reach. Always find new ways. Kiva and UNICEF. Kiva, we donate to Kiva because that saves other people's lives around the world, to let them build homes for their family or like food for them to survive. And UNICEF helps donate supplies so that most people in the world could have a great education. Ryan's Well and CHIO. Ryan's Well donates wells and water pumps to villages around the world so that everyone could have clean water where the pumps are. And CHIO is a hospital that saves children's lives each year. Alternative approach. I want to teach the world that it's not all about winning and losing. Just have fun in what you are doing, and never give up on what you want to do. I want to teach the world to just be yourself. Never be afraid to be yourself. Don't let others tell you to be someone you're not. Be who you want to be and set goal for your dreams. Like I was saying earlier about Kid President, just don't be so boring. Put yourself out there. You have a voice of what you want to do, and always inspire others and be awesome. Thank you for listening to my presentation.
I thought we were about to have a technical difficulty, but Erin got it all resolved secretly. Amazing. We spoke to Erin. He's going to be talking about the maker movement.
So I'm going to be talking about Saphira, Makey Makey, and Maker Jr. by me. Saphira is a ball which you control with an iPad, and
just the title slide, I'll rush ahead. Oh, sorry, I forgot about these. Sorry, Erin.
Okay, so Saphira, wait.
Erin's got special effects, sorry.
Okay, so it's like a vehicle because the iPad's a steering wheel and Saphira is the car, and it's an app that you have to download on the iPad, and it's only $150. And you can buy it on the web too. It's the same price as $150. And yeah. Okay, Makey Makey. So Makey Makey it's a pad, and there's a bunch of wires, and you clip them to this thing right here, and you can do cool stuff. Okay, you don't have to play this. It's like a robot because you can create stuff. So like, if I got a banana and I hooked it up to the Makey Makey from there like that, and I just put space for the space bar on the keyboard,
Make a Junior is another thing that we do, where we had made like at the beginning of the year, we had made answer and like, questions, and then we would hook them up to the light. Yeah, like this. We make a circuit of it going into the light all the way to the battery. So when you touch the right part, it would glow. And yeah. Yeah, just go to another slide.
This one?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Clara, and she'll be presenting about her year from the start.
Okay.
Sorry, Clara, I'm going to pause you. This is what it's like going to school at a construction site. So presenters, you are going to have to make an extra special effort to be a little bit louder because the construction is ongoing. Take it away, Clara.
Okay, so the Rainbow Eggheads work amazingly as a group. We all have different and special personalities that combine well together. And that's our class picture from the start of the year. You can really see people's passions in the Rainbow Egghead form because we all feel comfortable to share what we think and what we believe in. And here is Sky and Molly's unicorn presentation. So you can see that this is someone's passion and they wanted to share it in class. Our class is like this tree. We're all branches coming out of the trunk. Each branch represents a different person. You can see this since some branches are growing and developing at different times. Our class's students learn different things at different times. Shauna is our roots and trunk. She keeps us together and keeps us up so we can work as a team. I've learned by watching how our class works together that this tree model helps all of us work and help each other. A plant's leaf can't be in the way of another leaf because one will get sunlight and one won't. The tree model we use makes us all help each other and support each other without getting in the way of each individual's learning. This year, I've learned how to be a good friend. I've also learned that there are 7.46 billion people in the world and that at least one will be your friend. And that quote was from Go Girls, which was a club that we did. This year, I've learned from my classmates that you have to look on the good side of things. You have to suck it up and be brave, since there will be times when things just aren't going your way. At these times, you have to tough it up. This year, I've learned how to be a good leader, how to take charge of a situation and help the group, while still listening to others' ideas and being able to step down and let someone else lead or co-lead with someone, to try and be a follower once in a while. This year, I've learned from my classmates how to be crazy in a good way. Do something you regularly wouldn't do, and try something new. I wouldn't do that, but just
Did you guys not see the photos from the field trip?
I've learned that I still have so much more to learn about myself. Yeah. And I've also learned how to learn, how to listen, how to absorb, and take in every last bit of information, how to be a knowledge sponge. Thank you.
No. Pause on hers. Next, please welcome Alex, who's going to explain how he turned from an eagle to a bear to an egg.
So, how it turned from an eagle to a bear to an egg.
Alex?
Yeah.
Crank up the volume, my friends.
So, these are the schools I've been to in the last year. So this is the American School in London. It's in London and it's a private school. It's really good. This is the entrance.
See if I can buffer up some of the sound with these ultra thick curtains. Sorry, Alex.
So they have like really nice classrooms, and this is like the auditorium in it. And we have, like a lot of gyms. So these are the gyms. They have, and the yards out there. It wasn't that big, and it had no grass, but it was pretty good, I guess. And it had a soccer field, or like a soccer field where we played soccer. And, yeah. So this is the school I went to at the beginning of the year, Rocky. So Rocky is kind of getting old and sort of falling apart. And yeah, and the sign sort of. So this is the gym, and the book for it. The gym has like a bunch of problems. They have to put these metal beams in the walls from stopping the wall from falling down. So the gym's bigger than the one here, but yeah. And the yard at Rockview is really big, and it's actually a nice yard. It's got a bunch of play structures and a couple of sports fields, and a baseball diamond. And there is a couple of portables, but they don't just get in the way. So this is our school now, from my school, Churchill. It's got a small yard. It's good. Like this is me, Hunter, in the classroom. This is like a day we wore like weird jackets. Inside out jackets. And, yeah. And this is the gym. It's pretty small, but it's nice. And this is an assembly. Like watching a slideshow or something.
Next, Yarrow is going to tell us about tech and the thing that helped Room 209.
You guys are still.
Can I start? Okay. So, it's my Ignite presentation. It's a tech thing that helped Room 209 evolve. It's all about tech and all the things that we use to use social media and stuff. And yeah, hope you enjoy. Okay, so I think you probably heard about 50% of the things that are on the slide already, but I'll tell you again. So this is Twitter. It's a social media app that we use, and so you can talk with people around the world, really, and you can sign up free, and we just post things. I think it's minimum or maximum 180 words, or 40 words. Anyways, so this is Blogger. It's
it's like a thing where you make an account and then you have a blog and you can post things and about things that you're doing and post pictures and yeah. So we have a blog and it's Churchill 209 or something like that. So we have iPads, like Kaylee's holding one, there's one back there. And so we use these for educational apps. Educational. And yeah, iPads are cool. Okay, so in February, Sean came back from a Geek Summit. Google asked for education, and they had this grant for a class set of Chromebooks for Nexus 7s. So Sean asked if we would like to do it, and we said yes. So we entered a grant and a video, and a few months later we got them, and we were like, ah, woohoo, hooray! And now we use them for like online things, like we get books, or you can read books, or typing work, where you can boost your speed with writing. And yeah, so next thing is the Google Drive. So we use the Google Drive on the Chromebooks, and so you can make from documents to slideshows to forms, and it all saves automatically. So don't worry if your Chromebook or your computer accidentally shuts down, because it'll most likely have been saved. This is a thing that we have started recently. It's playlists. So using the Google Drive, you make a document, you enter your name and a song that you want, and you put the link. And so Shauna makes it all into a playlist, and during work time, she'll play it. So you have music to listen to during work time. And you can go on now.
Our next presentation is going to be by Miguel, and he's going to be talking about a topic for a little bit about tonight, which is Genius Hour.
Of course.
It's so wasn't it?
That's science.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is Magnite about Genius Hour, and that's the second slide, I guess. So, Genius Hour in a nutshell, it's basically you have to do something educational that I'm pretty sure can't be related to school, and we do it when you're a pickle, but if catch-up work, then you have to work while other people are doing Genius Hour, and you do a lot of stuff. Well, in the first Genius Hour, when we started again, so we did Genius Hour, then we stopped. So again, my first project was making the skate company with Pat, and he yelled, "I was a genius," for the name when I thought of it. My last Genius Hour project was, it's related to the slide, or the picture, I guess. It was with Ellis trying to make Futurama characters. Well, he made Bender, and I tried to make Zoidberg, but we never got to finish it, so it's just like a big blob of red now. And my second Genius Hour project was, I didn't have enough time to read it. It was taking apart a microwave oven, also with Ellis, and I found the bell, and then I kept ringing it, and the people got kind of annoyed, so I stopped. And if we lose time in class, so Shauna has a timer, so if we have to clean up, she gives us a minute, then she flips it the 1 minute timer again, and if we lose like a minute from there, then we would lose a minute from Genius Hour, or because if we're supposed to have a mindful lunch, if we talk, someone has a timer, they put it on, so how much time we leave over the week, yeah. One of my favorite Genius Hour projects, I had a lot of them, I'm just saying this one, is when pretty sure it was Genius Hour project, when a few people made plans to go to McKellar Park for a field trip, for a field day, and I thought that was really fun and well planned. Why not with T's class? So when we first did Genius Hour, we did it with T's class,
And, well, I'm not really sure why we don't do with Fuse class anymore.
Who knows?
Shauna might have a reason, or they might do it in their class, I don't know. But they don't do it with us anymore. That's what I know. But it's going to be fun on a bun. Did the Chromebooks make it better? Well, for some people, they use the Chromebooks a lot in Genius Hour. But for other people, they just didn't really mind it. They're just chilling. Well, not really chilling. They're working without the Chromebooks and just using their hands. And some iPads to make like an iMovie or something. But yeah, that's my last slide.
Haley is going to share with us a letter to her future son.
This is a letter to my future self. Room 209 Rainbow Eggheads. We are Room 209 Rainbow Eggheads in Churchill. We love animals, and if you don't know, you probably do. We have done workshops for other classes and stuff. Tech. We are well known for tech, as I just said. We've done workshops for other classes for the primary grades to help them understand Chromebooks. But yeah, we love Chromebooks and tech. We have weird languages in Room 209, like the Mickey Mouse and the Transformer. Keep it in there. You know, yeah, I think you know. Friends. Yes. Oh my god. I look so stupid. That's Maddie. That's Mel. I have more friends than that, but I've gotten really close to my friends. Things I like to do. I love to laugh. If you don't know that. Whenever I laugh, my face turns red as tomato, so it's sort of embarrassing, but I also like making other people laugh. Teachers. I will definitely remember Shauna. Shauna is my favorite teacher I've ever had. To say. She's more than that, but we'll just leave it like that. It would take all day to explain. I will miss you. I will miss you in 209. I will definitely visit next year. Thank you. You can
Mel, I don't have the title of yours, but I think you're going to be teaching us some math, right?
Yes.
All right. Please welcome Mel with some math.
Go, Mel.
You're on the 6th slide.
Oh, change slide.
You're on the wrong slide.
Helpful tricks that I've learned from Shauna and got off YouTube and the internet. 9 times tables on your fingers. You probably already know this if your kids taught you, but it's kind of like your hands all the way up to 10, and you can times it by 9. So 9 times 2, put the second finger down, and it's 18. So 1 and 8. 6 to 9. Basically, you have all your fingers, and your thumbs are 6s. Then these are 7s, 8s, 9s,
tens. And this is basically only if you want to times by those numbers. And so if you want to times 6 by 6, it's basically you put your fingers together and it's like that, and you go 10, 20, 30, 40, and then the fingers on the other side, it's basically 3 times 3, and then you have your answer. Lattice multiplication. So you probably already know this because of Shauna, and probably your kids taught you. So this times that equals that times that with that, and then you get your answer here. Then you make a banana. There. Shauna, I need to draw.
Try again.
Oh,
there, it worked. Perfect. Next
Banana.
Next. Sean, you have to exo in the corner and then go out to the next side.
Got to delete the banana. So this one is my favorite. So if you want to do that times that, so basically 34. So you draw like four lines. Not working.
Try one more time.
It doesn't work.
Try it on here.
Okay. 2, 3, 4. And basically circle here, circle in the middle, and then circle on this side. So basically corner by corner. Next slide.
Can you read what the answer would be?
Hmm?
Can you tell me what the answer would be?
Oh, it's on the next slide.
Oh.
So basically you have to circle here, 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 and here, so only this corner. And so since it's 4, you put the 4 there, and you always start from the back. And then you circle this one part, and you count it, and it's 11. So you leave a 1 here, and you carry another 1 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a 6, and then 7. So you put the 7 there, and you got your answer. Okay, and helpful word tricks. So 8 times 8. So pretend these are 2 snowmen, and one of them singing to the other, "Will you still need me? Will you still need me when I'm 64?" And yeah. So that's
Song by the Beatles or something?
yeah.
I
Song by the Beatles. Yeah. When I'm 64, yeah. And pretend these are 2 firemen, and basically they're getting called to their fire truck, and so is it like a movie title or something like that? And so it's like Fire 49. So basically,
There's a movie called Ladder 49.
Ladder 49. So something like that. Math is awesome. Thank you for watching.
But we created a video of the Ignite.
Oh, you don't even have to 10 minutes.
Oh, you're going to hear about how to survive the Moonshine first hand from farmer to Moonshine series on how to survive the amazing Moonshine. Prepare to be amazed. You must prepare to use the Google Drive because, as far as I'm concerned, the 2014-15 Moonshine class will use the Google Drive a lot. The Google Drive is basically a program in Microsoft Word, except that's done by Google, and everything that you do is stored online instead of your computer's hard drive. You're also going to learn about mindfulness, probably, because in this 2013-14 year, we've done a lot of mindfulness, because every morning we go down to do our morning mindfulness with Michelle's kindergarten class. We do that by doing mindful breathing. As our class pets, we have Davies. Jaegeus are basically a type of Peruvian rodent that are really similar to chinchillas and hamsters. The jaegeus really like to eat carrots and a bunch of other vegetables such as sorrel, which looks really similar to clovers, but not quite the same as clovers. The jaegeus' totally awesome full names are Speedy Marshmallows and Cane Marshmallows. They have the same race names because they are brothers. Oh yeah, and Speedy is a lot faster than Cane. Just right chance. Cane is a lot slower when they go on the running wheel at the same time. If you're in room 209, then you're probably going to use Chromebooks a lot. Chromebooks are basically a computer that does not have any memory, so everything is based on the web. So instead of using Microsoft Word, you use Google Drive where everything you write automatically gets saved right onto the cloud. And as far as I'm concerned, you're probably going to do Ignite again, just like I am doing right now. For Ignite, each of our slides has to be 20 seconds long, and we can have 5 words on each slide. The success criteria will probably change again next year, just like it did from last year to this year. We also have a class curriculum and a class blog. Since we have iPads in the class, the students can tweet from them about what we are doing in class. Most of the time we do tweeting during scarings or other special events. Like one time we had Blue Fest and we had the students tweeting. Thank you for listening, because if you didn't listen to this Ignite presentation, then there would be no point in doing Ignite in the first place. Now, as I told you earlier, this slide has to be 20 seconds long, and there are still 10 seconds left. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Please welcome Maddie, who's going to tell you how to
So, hi. Today I'll be talking about how to have a successful year in room 209. And I know this might be kind of boring if you're in our class or you have been in Sean's class before, because like it's just common sense to anybody who's in the class. But I'm doing it anyway. Yeah. My first side is how to stay on Shauna's good side. So imagine how you would feel if you had to not only monitor yourself, but 29 kids and 2 days. Like, show a little empathy. So like if you, you have to follow like I have like 6 other sides that explain different things that you should do to stay, like basically stay on Sean's good side and have a successful year. So it's basically the same thing. Anyway, so always be an ADEG. So the ADEG acronym, Shauna I think came up with that at the beginning of the year. So it's accountable, dynamic, driven, grateful. Accountable, grateful, generous. Yeah, and always be an ADEG. And don't be a bad egg. And being a bad egg is basically the exact opposite. So it's not accountable, not dynamic, not driven, not engaged, not generous, and not grateful. So, yeah. In your mouth. Oh. So at the beginning of the year, if you're in Shauna's class, it'll be at the beginning of the year. For us, it was around the middle. When you get the Chromebooks, you'll have 2 days of training where it's, I think, 3 videos. Then you have to, like, do stuff. And you have to bring home this giant form that you have to fill out, and your parents have to fill out, and you have to read the whole thing, and just learn how to respect the Chromebook and everything. Keep a good attitude about school. The teachers and the staff put in so much work to make school awesome, and same with the parent volunteers. So keep a good attitude, and that will help. Always follow the 3R rule. And no, it's not reduce, reuse, recycle. It's respect yourself, respect each other, and respect this place. So respect your classmates, yourself, and the school. So this slide, I just felt like doing this. So if you use these 6 basic steps, you will rise to success in room 209, as you can see with the diagram. Rising, yeah. Yeah, rising. Yeah. Rising. And I'm going to be completely honest. I couldn't think of anything to do for this last slide, so I just decided to make it a thank you slide. So, thank you.
Did Ellis make it?
No.
Okay. Clearly I have a bad side because the next slideshow is also how to stay on my good side. Please welcome.
Go Anna!
Okay, so this is a slideshow on how to stay on Shauna's good side. This may be hard, but I think it's possible. Yeah, I've never really seen this happen, so you can be the first. So I was gonna use a bad photo of Shauna, but then I thought that would not be staying on her good side. Okay, so step 1, you have to respect the Chromebooks because common sense. So you have to use your Mickey Mouse charger and your Mickey Mouse and your transformer. Do not unconnect them because they're in love. And if you unconnect them, then bad things will happen. Okay, step 2. We have Degus back there. They are living creatures, so don't kill them. Give them food, water, fresh water, and keep them alive. If they're not have those things, then contact the Degu keepers. Okay, step 3. Shauna's class motto thing is ask 3 then me. So it basically means you ask, if you have a question, you should ask 3 people, then her, or else you may get grumpy and feel like a broken record. Okay, step 4. This is a box. Okay, so right now you are inside of that boring old box, but it's smelling there, so you got to get out of that box and be creative. Think outside of the box, so go above and beyond. So don't stay in a little stinky crammed box. Okay, step 6. You got to be a rainbow egghead. So you got to be accountable, dynamic, driven. That's add. Engaged, grateful, generous, and supportive. So that's like gotta do that. Okay, step 5. You gotta listen, just like this little girl is showing you. So listen well, or else you may like do something wrong that you're not supposed to be, and there will be consequences for being a bad egg. So be the rainbow good ones. Don't be a crumpled up mess up. Okay, step 7. You gotta be organized. Maybe not in rainbow order, but try. So, oh yeah, I challenge you. So you have to like stay organized, keep things organized so that they're not barfing, and you gotta be organized, keep it tucked in. Okay, step 8. So the way to end the year on a successful note is get her a good present. So, if you started the year off on a bad note, then you can end it like this. End it good, okay? So you gotta get a good thing, or else it's not gonna be a good year. The year's over.
So I did want to keep all these as a surprise for you, so I have one. Marissa is going to talk about things that she's going to miss in her egg night.
And I'm trying to find
That was tweeting.
Do new people want to take over with Twitter, or is this your savvy? Maybe might be back here too.
Thank you, Barry.
People are already on it.
Marissa.
Perfect.
We got technical difficulties. No doubt.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, there we go.
My Ignite. 10 things that I will admit, so you can skip this slide. Right. Okay. We use so much tech here that it would be weird without it. Technology has really helped me, classmates here. I don't have them, but I know we Yeah. Tech's amazing. He's alive, man.
2 seconds.
Okay. Great. I would most definitely miss the exotic language we have here. The amount of times we've said, somebody walked into our room right now, they would think we are crazy. Won't even reach half the amount of times that I've used an English word to someone who's not in our class. Every school has math, but we eggheads have mathetudians. That's the word I mean. Don't be like this person, be like this person. And this person is math. This math is wonderful. I never went to another school, but I don't think it's possible that they have more teamwork and collaboration than the Rainbow Eggheads. Shauna is never the only one talking, and we each help each other, whether it's a large group project or a short worksheet. Colorfulness. Churchill has always seemed so colorful and welcoming. Color doesn't just mean rainbows to me. It means community and happiness. Sprinkles. Sure. Add-eggsiness. Eggheads come from add-eggs, and add-eggs is our class's golden rule. If you are an add-egg, you are a great friend, team member, and classmate. I would not want to be somewhere without any add-eggs, which is definitely not our class. Our class is full of eggs. Happiness is a specialty here. Every time I walk into our classroom, even if I had a bad morning, I feel happier surrounded by the eggheads. You just can't help being happy here. And our classroom is my happy place. Churchilliness. There has never been a place like Churchill, and there never will be. It is just so unique and special, and I will definitely miss it, but I will come back and visit in my future years. Okay, Shauna. If I had to make a list of synonyms for awesome, Shauna would be one of the first on my list. She's an awesome teacher at everything else. Even the things she's bad at, which is not very many things, she is awesome at being bad at them. I mean, how awesome can a person get? Very awesome. My classmates. I just couldn't get a picture of you. You were not on the internet a full class picture, believe it or not. People who I've worked with, grown with, played with, have become friends with, and now I'm living with great memories of our time together. This is the last slide.
Hunter is going to talk to you about hacking.
Oh, it's good calibrated. This is very rare in the classroom. Alright, so this. Okay. There's no words! I swear, like 10 seconds ago there were words. Alright, well I'll just say what the words are. It says, hacking is creative. Smiley face. Okay. So hacking is creative. It's like changing the rules for the better. So it's your own ideas and so much more. You can choose a specific skill set that you want to know. So say you want to learn about outdoors or something. You're going on a camping trip. I don't know. Then you can research that instead of sticking to the books. I'll talk about it soon. Sketchnoting is something that we've recently practiced. It's something that Shauna kind of brought up one day, and yeah. Okay. Yeah. Hacking your educations is just the beginning. You can hack so many things. Like work, maybe. Actually, maybe not. But that's a good thing to do. hack your educations. So, I'm not saying it's from school over. I'm just saying it's be more creative. Seriously. Just gonna go back to the book again. Don't stick books. Stick to books. Make up your own ideas. It's been 20 seconds, Shauna. All right. Pay no attention to the titles of the books. Just pay attention that there's books there. That's the only picture of books I could find on the haiku deck thing. Okay. So don't stick to the book. In fact, write your own book. And there's so many things, and yeah, writing books are awesome, and I'd be happy to read them. Come with us, and we'll go hack something. So, yeah, come to the light side of hackers. Hackers. Next slide. I hope you enjoyed my Ignite, because that's what we called it when we made the success criteria. All right, bye.
Please welcome Erin. Sorry. It's over, so Erin, that saves us time. Pat is going to tell you how to be a successful egghead.
Hello and welcome to Ignite the Night. My presentation will be about how to be a successful rainbow egghead and much steps to do it. But first, let me talk a bit about myself. I'm Pat, as Shauna said. I've been in Shauna's class for 3 years. And I'm into skateboarding, music, and art. By the way, the picture up here is of the museum, so you'll be able to pick out your kids.
My face is very dirty.
Step 1, participate. That basically means participate in class discussions by raising your hand, whether physically or digitally, meaning writing a comment on a doc or adding to it in some way. One of my favorite things about the Rainbow Eggheads is how accepting they are, so if you get something wrong or whatever, nobody will laugh or anything. Try. You need to try all these things to be a successful Rainbow Egghead, but more I'm saying is to try new things and be unique and creative. Experiment with different strategies and things and see what works for you, whether it's sketchnoting, going to get a brain drink, or taking a few jumps on the trampoline. Take initiative. That basically means to do work better than you need to do and extra stuff. Try to stand out and be different than others in your own way. Make sure you get to planning stuff. You can volunteer for something in class, talk about a cool event or something that you participated in, or whatever, or plan a hacked lesson. Step 4, stand on Shauna's good side. If you follow all these steps, then you should be good. Shadows generally behave well, but it's okay if you mess up sometimes. Just learn your lesson and don't be repetitive with your mistakes. She mentions her wanting to be a camp counselor, not a police officer, a lot. If that metaphor helps, we have tons of strategies to get you focused on your distracted. Step 5, make the most of every moment. Remember that being a Rainbow Egghead is a very special experience with the Chromebooks, the teacher, the cool events and stuff that we get to participate in, and all the students and other people that come in and out of here. But remember that it won't last forever, so make the most of it by participating and not wasting any time. YOLO. Step 6, work more than you need to. It's great to stay on top of your work so you can have the lowest amount of stress as possible. Try to make the most of your work periods. Since we used to drive a lot, you can usually work at home. Occasionally, it's good to take recesses off and see if Shauna's in the class to finish some stuff. Make sure you prioritize well, so you know what you need to finish and what will take you longer to. It's okay if you get working late. Just try not to do it too often. I'm going to end it off with a few things that you need to succeed. The 3 Bs. I'm going to use 3 skaters as an example. First of all, Richie Jackson, that dude. He's a very unique skater who skates and dresses like no one else. That's what you need to be like in Shauna's class, except you can dress normal, not like a circus guy. The next B is engaged. The skater I'll use for this example is Aaron Humke, the dude who's, I don't know how he does that.
and Joss, Joss is his nickname. Joss always seems like he's thinking he's skating. You have to think you're learning each other's lesson. Third and last showing will be Ben Rayborn. I personally think he's so awesome. That's what you need to do in Joss class. Try to be awesome in your own way. Thanks for listening. Have a good night. Note, skaters were definitely harmed in some of the pictures used.
Okay, so first, my slideshow is called Keeping Calm This Year because this year we decided to take new rules and make specific slideshows more than last year because, you know, it just makes it better. And better is better. Yes, our class has very good humor. Yes. So anyway, so first of all, Mind Up, as they say at the GameCon, because originally it was a program run by, the person who came in to help us with it was a woman named Courtney, and what she did was she kind of gave us these activities to do, and what they did was they kind of gave us an idea of how to keep mindful and calm. Now, GoNoodle. GoNoodle is a very awesome website, which has been mentioned sometimes. GoNoodle is a website that Shauna found that technically gives out brain breaks. It's like videos and activities, and you gotta have good internet for it because some of them just don't work. But the videos kind of give you like a really funny idea of keeping calm there's a really nice system to it where it's a lot for kids. The teachers create a class, and then the class can choose a character. And as you spend time doing brain breaks, you will gain points and minutes, which will level up your character. Our mindfulness buddies, is what we call them, is a class, Michelle's class downstairs, and they kind of gave us an idea of mindful breathing, where we go down and breathe for a few minutes with them. Yeah. Yes. So what we do is we go downstairs, and then we get down, and then we get in a specific position where we see straight. And anyway, and then we kind of get in a position that gives us more of an idea to get us better calm. Mindful snack is another thing that we got. So what we do is during snack, instead of talking with people that we used to do, because it can get pretty loud, so what we do is instead we
enjoy a glass of Coke.
No, that's not what we do. What we do is we, instead of talking, we kind of focus more on what we're eating and how it tastes and all that stuff. I mean, we don't really do it, but still, it's an idea. So, anyway, so thank you for listening. I put my social page as my thank you page, and thank you for listening and watching. And yes, thank you.
Vicky is going to tell us how not to use.
Hi, my name is Victoria, and I'm going to show you how to not be a stiff noodle. So basically, and if you're wondering why I said stiff noodle, it's in our class we have many quotes, and one of the quotes is to never be a stiff noodle, which basically means be flexible, because if you're a stiff noodle and you try to do a backflip, you will snap. So that is not a good thing in our class, because then you won't be able to try new things, and it's really difficult. Alright, so when you're doing work, one step that you have to do is you have to be prepared. You have to get your ingredients out. So if you're planning to make a really fancy dinner, you have to be prepared and have all your ingredients out, so then you can get work done faster, and you can actually, it's less stressful, and you can feel better about what you're doing, and often improves your product. So choose your noodle. There's so many different ways you could go. You could choose spaghetti noodles,
or penne noodles, it's really important to choose a noodle that you feel comfortable with. And one strategy you can use is a Jenga tower, so you can see where you need improvement, and that helps. Never avoid boiling water. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, and that's a quote. If you avoid boiling water, then you'll never be cooked unless you do a microwave, which is a bad substitute, as shown. This is a cooked microwaved. The sauce is most important. Tomato works best. You kind of have to, when you're working, you have to see what are your priorities. Is it more important to get all the animations in your slideshow done, or is it more important to get a script done? Because if you choose that it's more important to get animations done, then it can be not always so great. Don't rush the cheese spread. If you rush the cheese spread, then your work will be sloppy, especially if you're doing a letter, because generally you want your letters to be thoughtful, and if it's not very thoughtful, then the person who's getting the letter won't feel so great. And check your pasta. Is it ready yet? You have to check your work before, for example, if you're, again, doing a letter, then you can check it over and see, is there anything else I want to add? Is there anything else that I want to say to this person or group of people? So it's really important to check your pasta and clean the dishes. First of all, don't expect your parents to clean the dishes, because they won't do that. You have time. If you make a mess, then it's your responsibility to clean it up, and don't think that that person has a mess, I won't even bother to help them. If you see someone else is having trouble, then you can help them. And enjoy. Yeah. So when you're finished, and if you used at least a few of these strategies, often you'll be very happy with what you did, and you're very proud with it. And something that makes you feel even better about what you just did is often it can be really helpful to present it, like I'm currently doing. And those are my sources.
Since I have Aaron on there twice, I feel like, did I miss somebody? Okay, who wants to get some revenge and do the 20 seconds for me? Who set the timer? Keely? Okay, keep it on track for 20 seconds. Because I hope you're building up your appetite. We are 5 minutes overtime. Sushi restaurant is waiting for us. I'll do mine. It'll take me exactly 3 minutes. So you've got to go back. Escape. Oh, shoot. Anna, can you press escape on the keyboard? Or yeah, if you go up with the mouse, Kelly. Okay, we're good. Ignite.
This is hard on your leg.
And I'm down here. Recipe for success. Okay. I'm just going to start talking because then I don't have to move the chair away. Here. Okay, so what I'm going to talk about is, you've mostly heard it, but it's just going to be sort of my perspective on things. Yes, go back to the start one. Okay, and then start your timer. Give me 20 seconds. So getting ready for this year, I wanted to come up with a simple list of life and behavioral expectations that would stick with the students. And as you've heard, it has stuck, this add eggs. So as my students know, I love acronyms, so I spent some time writing out a list of qualities that I think make great learners and great people. Eventually I settled on the 7 words that spell out add eggs. And these became the recipe for success in Room 209. I started out by calling the Room 209ers eggheads, we turned into the Rainbow Eggheads, so you'll hear about that shortly. What I want you to do, Rainbow Eggheads, is as I'm talking, I'm going to go through the 7 add eggs, and I'm going to go through Rainbow, and I just want you to count on your fingers how many of these stuck with you this year. So we're going to start with Rainbow. Very soon after meeting this group, we all realized we weren't just plain old eggheads. They're much more colorful than that, literally and figuratively. We added Rainbow to the name, becoming the Rainbow Eggheads. Rainbows are wonderfully symbolic for a lot of reasons. They've always been an image that I've loved, and if you, because of looking on the bright side, if you look around at the little tiles in the school, when I was a student here, my tile is about rainbows, and it says the secret to life is anticipating the rainbow when it rains. In this room, being a rainbow means both having a good attitude and being yourself, and we all work together in a rainbow to make something beautiful. Okay, go back to accountable. I'm totally cheating. I told you. Okay, but then really keep me to 20. We'll do it one more time. As you've heard tonight, we have a lot of class mottos. Accountability ties into one of ours, which is if you want to be trusted, be honest. I count on these students and they count on each other. This is a class that runs itself, and we have a guest teacher here. The guest teacher doesn't do any teaching. Students take on all the lessons. Because of their accountability, we've been able to do all kinds of amazing things that you've seen and heard about, like getting our class set of Chromebooks, running a very successful pilot program with them, where the students had ownership over a device and their learning. This class made having a hacked class possible. Without even meaning to, this class is full of ideas, and we try new things all the time, maybe sometimes too much. We could have had another whole year to work together on all the amazing ideas. Dynamism is about changing, learning, and reflecting on our goals. One of the things that we've done this year that's made a lot of change is having those mindful buddies that you've heard about. At the beginning of the year, one of Michelle's little kinders explained to their parents that we were having mind police with the big kids. By learning about our body's reaction to our brain's interpretation of events, we've been able to control lots of emotions and react appropriately to events this year. I hope students take those tools with them. So you're counting, students. We are on to driven, so you could have up to 3 fingers up now. In terms of being driven, students set and reflected daily on their goals all year. I saw motivated learners who don't moan and groan. They know they're doing a great job, and achieving goals takes work. Perseverance showed up in the attitudes of students, the way that they approached school, coming here open, ready to learn, and I saw that every day in our How Do You Feel Today surveys. One huge thing that's happened in here is the math attitudes have really improved. There was someone who presented tonight who came to me 3 years ago hating math, and that was like what she chose to present about tonight. We work really hard in this class to get into the element or the flow and have students doing what they love to be doing and sharing their passions.
I'm trying.
Engaged. One of the students described engaged as putting your whole being into what you're doing. Together, oh, are we out of order? Rainbow was supposed to be at the beginning. Go and see if you can find engaged. Perfect, that's where we are. That's why I ran out of time, because I had the slides in the wrong order, sorry. Together we found ways to make the curriculum accessible and exciting and challenge each student in his or her own way. I could quickly gauge students' engagement with hands-on class discussions, contributions to docs on the drive, and their daily responses to the What's Stuck survey. These ideas all tie in together, and you've heard about the many ways students demonstrated their engagement. Throughout this year, I saw each student get excited and be ready to learn or teach about something they were passionate about. Tonight, you've seen many of those passions. That passion is contagious, and we've all learned from and grown from sharing with others. Grateful. One student said that it's a privilege to be a rainbow egghead. We've been through a lot this year, including the illness of a classmate, and I feel privileged and grateful to have worked with this group for 1, 2, or 3 years, and I do wish I had more time with all of them, and I'm also grateful to have worked with these families. Students know how lucky they are, and they show their gratitude. You heard a lot of different ways why. One of the ways we show our gratitude is in a gratitude circle when somebody that we care about is leaving our classroom, and it's been named the crying circle because there's so much emotion tied to that. We are generous and giving of our time, knowledge, and resources. At the Christmas Craft Fair, without me even knowing, several of the students in this room made crafts not for themselves, but to make money for different organizations that are important to them, like CHIO, Red Cross, and Humane Society. We've also been generous in sharing our use of technology with other classes. The support has been huge in this class this year. Students know that in here your class is like your family. You support your classmates through anything. And as a student said, even if you don't agree with their idea or it's not your own passion, you support them and help them reach their goals. One of the students wrote, if your friend wanted to be an astronaut, you don't try to keep them on Earth. You make them do push-ups. So that was the biggest example of support. School is a big deal. You need to take risks, get up and share, be vulnerable, and push yourself. Finally, this made me bawl. As you're getting ready to hatch, Room 209ers, I want to just see how many of those 8 ideas have stuck with you this year. You're supposed to be counting, so we could have up to 8 fingers up. I would say, looking around the room, that this recipe has been a success. And now that we're moving on, this class only has a few days left together as a unit, but we'll all take the lessons that we experienced and use this recipe in the future. This was Camden's idea of you guys hatching, but it's not a sad thing, it's a wonderful thing. You guys are moving on to bigger and better things. You have all the tools that you need to be successful, and as you move off into the world, take the lessons and this recipe with you. This is, oh yeah, I took 2 extra minutes, sorry. And you're all very hungry, so now for Sushi Islands.
Woo!
What's that? They called. Did you tell them we're on our way? Thank you, Anna. My secretary.
Thank you for watching. Bye.